Guys, we are being joined by the incomparable former unified lightweight champion of the world, the Galaxy Warrior, Nate Campbell.
Affordable Dentures and the Boxing Source proudly present The Stand in 8 with the Galaxy Warrior, Nate Campbell.
Guys, welcome. Happy Thursday evening to all of you guys. And I tell you what, welcome to our premiere episode. It's The Standing 8 with Nate, the Galaxy Warrior, the incomparable Nate Campbell. Nate, how are you, brother?
I'm good. How you doing? Thank you for having me.
Oh, I tell you what, it is our pleasure, and I couldn't do this without my brother-in-arms, Mr. Boxing Source, the incomparable J.R. Bell. J.R., how are you, brother?
Hey, look here. You know I had to have a Florida boy up in here. You know what I'm saying?
What's up,
very,
JR?
very glad he was able to join us.
Thank y'all for
I
having
tell
me.
you what, guys, and we're here. I'm sorry,
first-
go ahead, sir.
I want to say this before we go any further. I owe JR 2 shirts, so I want y'all to know that I'm not holding out. I owe him 2 shirts.
I tell you what, Nate, we're going to get started right down to it on a very special game we like to call...
Hey, we ain't ducking and dodging nobody. It's time for fact or fiction.
Oh, that's fact or fiction. Are you ready to play, Nate?
Okay, something happened and went mute for a minute. What's the name of the game?
It's fact or fiction. You mean you didn't hear Floyd Jr. announce it?
I thank God for that.
Yeah. I tell you what, it goes like this. We give you a prognostication. You tell us whether or not you think it's going to be proven to be a fact or fiction, and you tell us why.
Okay.
Here we go. Number 1, JR.
All right. Anthony Joshua will unofficially retire from boxing, but will have second thoughts after Tyson Fury takes Wardley's belt later this year. Fact or fiction?
There's some fact to that, probably. I think that I thought that he did retire because of his car wreck. I heard of somebody retired. But of course, we don't stay gone when we have fight left in us. And after the money he just made, he'll come back.
So what do you think about the second part of that prognostication? Tyson Fury, do you think he's going to come back and fight Fabio Wardley? You think he's going to take his belt, or you think he's going to get knocked the F out?
I don't know anything about Wardley. That's the hard part about it. I don't know anything about him. So I can't tell you what.
Well, they're calling him the Deontay Wilder, the bronze bomber of the UK, because he's got great athleticism, great reflexes, and a good chin, and a one-hitter quitter with the right hand.
That don't mean nothing to me at heavyweight.
Yeah.
That means nothing to me at heavyweight.
His last victory, he knocked out Joseph Parker in the 11th round after losing.
I remember that fight. I never thought much of Joseph Parker. So if Tyson Fury puts his head on straight, he could be into these guys. And I'm not a big Tyson Fury fan. I just think he's better than the ones that are out there.
There it is. So if you were Frank Warren and Queensberry Promotions, would you actually bring Tyson Fury back gradually, or because of the money he wants, you have no choice but to put him in against another name, a title holder like Fabio Wardley.
You can't lose money. You can't lose money with him. You gotta. I mean, the boxing business is about making money.
Yep.
And the sad part about it is, these guys are able to ask for this kind of money. It's crazy because it wasn't there when I was there.
Yep. Well, look.
I wouldn't pay $4 for most of these guys.
Well, look, back when you were a world champion, right? There wasn't a promoter paying out inflated purses, and that trend, unfortunate trend, very unhealthy for the sport of boxing, started with Al Heyman when he formed PBC.
He made it where opponents. Now you tell an opponent, "Well, I'll give you $3,500, man." Nah, Al give me it's $8,000 out there. Where you gonna get it from? You ain't worth $80. I mean, but you want $8,000?
You know what? I forgot why I loved Nate Campbell so much, because he always tells the truth.
Dude, you know, most of these guys are getting. I hear these guys getting $30 million for. I fought harder fights on ESPN, and these guys are fighting on pay TV.
Speaking of hard fights, Nate, I'll never forget when you won the unified titles at 135 against, boy, a real dog in the Baby Bull Juan Diaz. Was that the toughest fight of your career? Because I'll tell you what, after about round 7 or 8, you made it look easy.
That was not the hardest fight of my career. I knew I was going to get him the moment. John David told me, the moment he backs up, you got him. He backed up in the first round. I knew I had him. And wow. Because I believed my trainer. He took a step back. And I knew I could back him up.
How is John David Jackson doing, by the way? I haven't heard anything from him in a good minute.
He's good. He's training Carissa Shields right now for her next fight. You know, we really, believe it or not, everybody think we don't like Carissa. We love Carissa. We think the world of Carissa Shields. It's just some of the stuff she says that makes us go, huh?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh.
And we say that, and I think that people don't like to hear us. A lot of people don't like to hear us pushback. You know, like, this generation can't take pushback.
Criticism, yeah.
They don't like pushback.
You mean the entitled softies on social media?
If I hear one more social media genius tell me how much more boxing they know than I do, I'm a scream.
Yeah.
I tell a guy one day, I said, "Bro, I've forgotten more about boxing than you know."
You know what, Nate? Do you think that's why? Because Buddy McGirt, great boxing guy, in the Hall of Fame, both as a trainer and a fighter. And he's not on social media very often these days because he can't stand the disrespect. He doesn't understand what happened to fans. He used to say, you know what, back in my day, you know, they treated you like you were somebody when they were around you. Now they just want to argue with you and think that they actually know more. What do you think happened with the amount of disrespect that these fans show these gallant warriors like yourself?
Here's the issue. I'll break your camera.
Yeah.
I'll break your camera. I keep some guys with me that will break your camera, and I will break your face. See, there's a difference between me and another guy. I really will do you dirty. I'll beat you right up where you stand. And I'm okay with you call. I got the same. I mean, I know some good lawyers, really good lawyers, and I don't mind giving them $2 or $3 to get me out of this charge. But
wow,
guys are too afraid to lose everything. But what you will not do, I'm at a place in my life where what you will not do is disrespect me. And a lot of these dudes online, they talk real crazy because they feel like they can get away with disrespect. I don't do disrespect.
Well, I tell you what, man, you're now my new favorite fighter once again, brother. Nate, speaking of getting good attorneys, if you could sit down with Gervonta Tank Davis and have a long conversation with him, what would you tell him, brother?
First of all, get away from that girl. I would look at my big brother and I tell him, hey, she's trying to kill you, bro. She's trying to kill you without putting a hand on you. She's trying to kill you without a gun. Poison. The poison that she's using is how you feel about her. And she evidently. See, let me tell y'all something. The worst thing to do is to catch a fighter when he's training for a fight. His emotions are all out of whack, and she knows this now. I think these women know this now, and they play a real ugly game to make you look bad. And I don't blame it all on them. I think Javante got to come to the realization that he don't know everything he think he know. But by the time he finds out what he thinks he knows, it's going to be too late if he ain't careful. I think that I would sit him down, look him in the face, and be like, bro, you blowing it.
You're blowing it, son.
Oh, boy. In the immortal words of Angelo Dundee, you're blowing it, kid.
You're blowing it, kid. You're blowing it.
Speaking of blowing it, let's move on to number 2, Big James.
All right. The handlers of Boots Ennis and Virgil Ortiz know that there's not enough money to support this matchup at this time. Both camps will go after belts to enhance their market value in the interim. Fact or fiction?
I believe they might do that. I believe that both of those guys understand that in order to get the money they want, it has to be for a unification fight. I hope they understand that.
So put on your matchmaking cap, brother. Who would you pair against either fighter?
I don't even know who's out there. The sad part about it, I don't even know who's out there for them now. I don't know the champion.
The current title holders right now are Murtazaliev with is it the IBF?
IBF.
Okay. Sebastian Fundora still at the WBC?
Yep.
Okay. Baras Abau. He's got the WBA and Xander Zayas as the WBO.
I would take Xander Zayas and put Xander Zayas. This is gonna mess y'all up. I would put Xander Zayas with Boots, and I would put Fundora with Virgil.
It's amazing that you say that because I think that's actually going to happen. James, would you concur?
Yeah. I got, Xander Zayas beating Bas Barao and become a unified champ. And then Boots going to get next on that. And then you got Virgil Ortiz as the interim champ for the WBC. And he can fight Sebastian Fundora for the full WBC.
Right. But here's my thing. Here's my issue. I think the sanctioning bodies need to be held to a standard that they've probably never been held to. The sanctioning body should give a retirement to guys that have been champion with their belts. They should have to give them a retirement. I don't care, even if it's just one, if they only was champion for one, if they won the title one time and they defended it one time, even if they lost, they should have to pay them retirement.
You mean like a pension?
They should have to pay them, and they should have to give it to them. They should have to give it to them.
This is what I think, Nate. Every single pay-per-view bout or pay-per-view event every single year, 5% of the proceeds should be put in a pension for all retired fighters, champions and otherwise.
Right, but here's my thing. In the pay-per-view fights, what you gonna give them, $80 a piece? I'm asking. What you gonna give? Lunch money?
Yeah. Well, that's more than what a lot of them are getting currently.
Right. I don't get anything, but the problem is, if you give me those 80, I'm mad about it because bitch, you could have gave me more. And the truth of the matter is, the same fighters are taking 3%, 2% from what you get What are they doing with it? Because no offense, they could run these businesses from their bedroom.
Mm. Yeah, I wish that they would be a little more transparent with how
Yeah.
they spend their proceeds.
Yeah.
I mean, look, the Muhammad Ali
Argument.
Boxing Reform Act promoters have to be transparent with their money and the live gate. Why can't the sanctioning organizations be held to that same standard?
They should, but I'm gonna tell you something. Everybody's all, and I'm not knocking Turkey All Sheik, but for him to want to kill the Ali Act, it makes me want to look at them real crazy. And I think that's Dana White's doing.
Yep, that's it. And you look, it's already started because he's not trying to sell any tickets. He's going to have his first card on the 23rd at the Apex. And that's his private dojo at the UFC compound. So
you know
he
what?
doesn't have to show anyone where the money and how much they're making.
I'm gonna tell you a secret, and I'm gonna say this to your face. I feel like guys like Dana White should have to spend 3 to 4 rounds in the ring in a boxing match with me.
Yeah. Well, hey, this is something that you and Coach Ronnie Shields have in common because he said the same thing.
Yep.
You know, the problem is, it's easy for a guy like Dana White and the rest of these guys to talk real smart when they've been punched in their face by a professional prize fighter.
Mm-hmm. Everything changes after that.
Everything changed when everything will change when they see me standing across the ring doing my neck like this, screaming across the ring. I'm finna fuck you up.
Well, it becomes pretty real after that, brother. Let's move on to.
It don't get real till the first time I hit you with a left hook to the liver.
Tell you what, I don't care how good your chin is. That punch doesn't feel good at all.
No, and the pain of it all is that the men, the ones that are going through all the turmoil and pain are not being taken care of.
There it is. There it is. I tell you what, it's and the ones who are getting taken care of the most these days aren't taking any calculated risks in the ring, ultimately becoming a very unentertaining product at the end of the day. What say you, Nate?
Football sucks. Basketball sucks. Boxing sucks. I don't watch baseball, so I don't know if it sucks or not.
Oh, I love baseball.
Yeah, don't know if it sucks or not because I don't watch it. Don't watch hockey, but every one of the sports that I used to watch, I don't watch. That's why I can't tell you who's champion. I watch them fight, but I don't follow their careers as closely as I once did because the truth of the matter is, if you watch one of them fight, you've seen all of them fight for the most part. They all fight just alike, all athleticism.
You think it's a lack of heart, Nate?
No, they don't have teachers anymore.
Uh-oh. Speaking of which, before we move on to number 3, brother, let's get to know what you're doing. What are you doing? You just got out of the gym and there it is. So who are you training these days, Nate?
I have 3 brothers. I have 4 brothers totally. What's the last name? They have really long names. Cam, Ray, Avery, and the youngest brother's name is Bebe. And I trained these 4 guys. I trained the number one 176-pound JO in the country right now. His name is Isaiah Davis. I actually have the best 176-pound JO in the country, and kid named Avery. This kid is 14, just turned 15, and he has beaten grown men senseless.
Wow.
This young man is Duran slash he's Duran slash what's the young man name out of I always forget it. Wilfredo Benitez. He's very
El Radar.
Yeah, he's that kind of mindset.
Wow, he has those reflexes too.
He has reflexes, skill, and I'm having to teach him how to fight inside, and he still is good.
Wow. I tell you what, that's where that you hit the nail around the head. That's why we see so many clinching in the fight game these days, so much of it, and it creates a terrible product because no one knows how to teach how to fight and defend yourself proficiently on the inside any longer, Nate.
They don't. And
What's up with that?
What they've done is they put a whole bunch of strength and conditioning guys over boxing.
That's it. That's it. I tell you what, Nate, for that comment, you received the War Week Boxing round of applause.
Thank you.
Yeah. Because I tell you what, truer words were never spoken.
I'm not knocking anyone for what they feel, but my thing is, I had a dude tell me one day, man, my trainer know this, know that, and I looked at him and said, the trainer was standing there talking, the kid was talking. I said, tell you what, why don't you put your gloves on? I put my gloves on, and you show me how that works. Show me how it works.
There it is.
And see,
there
the
it is.
The average guy that's teaching boxing right now can't fight his way out of a wet paper sack.
Yep. It's almost like they think if you can come up with some bullshit mitt routine, then you can call yourself a trainer.
That's it. You got a bunch of pad holders.
Yep.
You got a bunch of pad holders. I got a kid named Ray. He fought the number 3 guy in the country at the time. The guy was number 3 in the country at the time. And we beat him the first time and they robbed us. The second time we beat him, they gave it to us on a split decision. We lost a split, won a split. And then he made a statement after the second fight that he got robbed. I looked my kid in the face and said, next time we take all of his argument away. We're gonna beat the sleeves off of him, is my exact words. After the first round, my kid came walking back to the corner with a shit-eating grin like this up. And we knew we had him. We punished him. And we punished him because he talked the second time.
Oh.
Hey, Nate, do you remember back in the day when the only one who was doing mitts was Emmanuel Stewart and everyone used to just rely on shadow boxing?
I go farther back than that. I go farther back when there was no such thing as a mitt.
Yep, that's it. That's it.
Mitts is an 80s thing. Mitts are from the 80s.
Yep.
When Manny Stewart made that a part of the workout, that wasn't to take away from what other stuff he taught. He was sharpening those guys up with the stuff that he had taught them. But if you don't, all you teach them is a mitt routine, dude, I'm telling you, it is nothing worse than a father who's learned to hold mitts and his son learned how to hit mitts. That's what they're doing.
That's terrible. Because the way Emmanuel Stewart once explained it to me, he said, look, I'm actually replicating an actual prize fight. He doesn't know where I'm going to hold the mitt.
At all. Manny Stewart took my trainer to the world title. He took John, Buddy McGirt. Buddy McGirt was my first big name trainer. Mm-hmm. Then I went to John David. Mm-hmm. But I've had every trainer that I've had except for one is a Hall of Famer. That's crazy.
Yep.
Every trainer I've worked with is a Hall of Famer somewhere, except for one. And he should be a Hall of Famer because he did something for me. But I was a left-hander. He switched me to my original side.
Wow. So tell us, and every fighter I talk to that's ever worked with John David Jackson, they tell me the same thing. He is the most underrated strategist in the entire sport.
I'm his first champion. So
yep.
I believe in his mojo. So one day they asked me on the phone, Jeff Mayweather was on the phone, several other guys was on the phone. I said, John David Jackson is the best trainer in boxing, period, bar none. Mm-hmm. And everybody like, oh, okay. I said, hey, that's my opinion. You asked me your opinion, I gave you mine. I said, let's talk about all the guys he's had. John has had like 15 world champions since 2008.
And Shane Mosley, he'll never say this on the air, But off the air, I did commentary with him several times, and he said John David Jackson is the smartest trainer in boxing.
John David Jackson used to be me and John David Jackson used to go to war and sparring at one point. Me and Shane Mosley went to war and sparring.
There it is. There it is.
Me and Teddy Reed went to war. Me and Sean Ben. Dude, I've been in the ring with some bad motor scooters, man. Me and Randall Bates went to war.
Dude, and see, that's the thing. In your era, everyone was bad. Dude. And this is what Emmanuel Stewart told me, and he said the exact same thing that you're saying now. He said, let me tell you something, Joseph. It's going to be an epidemic. From what I'm seeing, these fighters, they're going to try and replace hard sparring with conditioning, strength and conditioning coaches, and they're not going to be mentally able to handle the heat in the ring. And that's what we're seeing now.
I am the last get in your face and make you fighter. I'm the last one. In an era when everybody in my division was a bad mother, shut your mouth. Okay, I'm gonna say this, and I never take away that Duran is the greatest lightweight of all time.
Yep.
I don't take that from him. Then
Purnell.
Well, Purnell's up there, but there's Ike Williams is for me is 1A Duran, 1B/2 Ike Williams. There's a guy who never won the world title that you might want to research named Willie Joyce. He was a bad mother, shut your mouth. And nobody knows about him, but they robbed him so much more than he was Emmanuel Augustus of the 30s, 40s, 50s.
Wow.
He was, but I know the history of I've done so much research on the division. Can you tell me 10 guys that fought in the lightweight division when Duran was fighting? And it's hard, but I know, can you?
No. Not off the top of my head.
It's hard. And I mean, maybe because it's so long ago. But if they were great then, they'd be great now, right?
Yep. That's right.
And I can tell you 10 guys. I can name like 10, 11 guys that was in my division when I fought at lightweight.
Yep.
Juan Diaz, David Diaz, Julio Diaz. You had Castillo, Corrales, that's 5. You had myself. You had
Robert Garcia, now trainer as well.
Who?
Robert Garcia, now training fighters.
But Robert Garcia was a little bit before. I mean, at my time, Robert Garcia was like 130.
Asolino Freitas.
Yep, Freitas, Casamayor. You had
Michael Katsidis.
Michael Katsidis. You had Fanica. You had Zaire Rahim.
Oh, I remember Ali Fanica. Yep. I remember your fight with him.
Yeah. You had you had Joan Guzman.
Yep.
We was 10, 15, 20 deep. We was 15, 20 deep at any given day.
Yeah.
Man, I always wanted to see you fight Joan Guzman, but if I remember correctly, he came in too fat and he didn't make the weight.
And I said if he wanted to make it, I said don't worry about the money. I'm not gonna take no money from your purse. Just show up to fight.
Wow.
I don't want your money. I want the belt. I don't want your money. I want your record.
Wow.
He was my mandatory.
I remember. And he came in, I think, 3 pounds overweight.
2 pounds.
Oh, Chingao.
And my thing was, I ended up losing the belt because I was 2.5 pounds over. I was struggling to make the weight, but the thing about it was, I knew I didn't have long in the division. I was at an age where my body was trying to do what it wanted to do. And no matter how much, I wasn't going to stop eating. I wasn't going to stop eating food. And I mean, you had to be real with yourself. I was 36 years old. And I wasn't going to, there was no, my back was already injured. And I was going through what I was going through, but my issue is that so many people get caught up and they tell me how great these other fighters are. I'm like, dude, none of them had a division like that. Nobody had a division like the lightweight division was at that time.
Nope. So let me ask you something, Nate. Do you think we'll ever have another Olympic team like 1996 ever?
96?
Oh, yeah.
What was so good about 96?
Fernando Vargas, Floyd Mayweather Jr., Zahir Rahim, Raul Marquez. I think that's Raul Marquez, right?
Yeah.
Lawrence Claybay. Or is it Antonio Tarver? Was he on that team too?
Yeah.
Yep.
That was an amazing team. I think that was the last great team that we've ever had.
They didn't medal. How many gold medals did they win? If you want another great team, I want one like 84.
Oh, yeah. Well, 84. But I'm just talking about the last great team that we had. We haven't had shit since. Andre Ward, that's it.
But, dude, that's their fault. That's their fault. And I say that. And I'm going to say that way they can hear me say it. The Olympic Committee, the USA Boxing, and I'm a USA Boxing. I'm look, if they stop bothering these coaches and let these coaches coach and know what they're doing, the problem is they've run off all the good pros like myself that have something to really give.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
You got a bunch of dudes that you got a bunch of dudes that's just round here to be round here. They selling you bullshit, and they want you to believe that, oh man, I know that you got a better athlete that you've been training since he was 7, and all he know how to do is run fast and jump high. My guy just started boxing 6 years ago, and he was fat to start with. And that's the problem. Nobody want to talk about that. That I've taken every fight I look on my board. I've taken, for the most part, other than the 4 brothers that I have, everybody that I have, I've had to start from scratch.
Yeah, you don't see that ever anymore, Nate.
No, and I'm having to build. Some of them have been loyal. Some of them have not. But everybody I started, I've had to start from scratch.
Let me ask you something. How many fighters has Freddie Roach ever built from scratch?
Not one. And I'm gonna say this. Let me tell you something. My cousin told me one day we went to, after I won the world title, I went out to California. John David was training Bernard, and Freddie was also training with him. They were co-training. And Freddie Roach was in the way, and my cousin Merck looked over me. He said, he just sit his old ass out. Just sit his ass down. He in the way. And my cousin was adamant about that. Now, mind you, we know John is the better trainer. He was the better fighter. And then me and Freddie Roach were at odds because Pacquiao was in the division with the belt, and I was trying to fight Pacquiao, but he had Pacquiao, and he kept saying, oh, Pacquiao gains nothing from fighting Nate. No, he get an ass whipping and 3 belts, or 3 belts, 1 or 2. That was the first fight that was supposed to be for the undisputed title at 135 in the 4-belt era. They offered us $5 million. I told them I'll take it. I didn't haggle. I didn't discuss it. I said, I'll take it. My exact words. We never heard from him again.
We've got a question for you, Nate. First from our brother Champ Ross. Thank you for supporting Nate Campbell, the Galaxy Warrior, on this day. He says, Nate, being in the ring, who were some of the hardest punchers that you ever faced, in your opinion?
3 guys that hit me the hardest. I can give you several. I'm gonna start like this. Teddy Reed, I thought was gonna kill me when he hit me. Randall Bailey hit me. Ali Fanica hit me and dislodged my dental mouthpiece. Yeah, I heard it pop in my ear, and I thought it was my jaw breaking. But there was a guy named Angel Rios in my 10th fight. He gave me hell and charged me rent for it.
What about a prospect at the time that everyone was really high on out of Vegas? Kid Diamond Rhymekulov. Everyone was saying he was the hardest puncher at 35.
He was not. I was. Y'all something.
There it is.
Kid Diamond was tough. He was durable. He was all those things. But he wasn't ready for the flavor I had for him. See, and my thing was, anytime I heard that a guy gave Floyd Mayweather a hard time, I wanted to make it my business to make sure that I beat that guy up.
I love it. Thank you for your question, champ. We appreciate it. And Slide and Counter, thank you for joining us and supporting Nate Campbell today. He said, yep, Ike Williams had one of the most vicious KOs against Bo Jack back in the day.
Yeah. See, a lot of guys don't know Bo Jack was a bad man. See, my thing is, when I was coming up, my trainer, Doc Williams, who was born in 1928, Doc Williams made me learn the history of boxing. Doc Williams had the honor of being one of the very few men to beat Charlie Burley.
Oh, Charlie Burley.
Yeah,
wow. The most, arguably the most avoided man throughout the history of boxing.
Yep. Yes, and Doc Williams beat him. Doc fought Archie Moore 3 times. Doc had this he told me famously, "You ain't fought nobody." I said, "What you mean? I fought everybody told me to fight." I fought Archie Moore 3 times. I said, "What happened?" "I knocked him down 1 time." I said, "Okay, and what happened?" "Shit, he got up." And the rest is history.
I tell you what, guys, let's go back to this while we still have Nate on. Let's go back to Fact or Fiction, guys. Because I really want to know what you think of this, Nate. Number 3, Big James.
All right. After getting knocked out by Dalton Smith, aka the UK Danny Garcia, Subriel Matias will never be the same. Fact or fiction?
Fact.
Oh boy.
And I'm gonna tell you why he'll never be the same. I told somebody this and they thought I was wrong. I said, Matias does not survive in my era. None of these guys that are fighting at 135 survive with that kind of competition I called out earlier. Do you realize Pacquiao was in my division? Pacquiao, Marquez, myself. Dude, everybody I called is a Hall of Famer.
Yep.
Everybody I called is a Hall of Famer. This was like the top 50. This was like Michael Jordan playing the top 50 in the top 50. And nobody wants to stop and think about how great that early 2000s up to about 2010 lightweight division was. There was a bunch of animals.
It spoiled us, Nate, as fans and as writers. It spoiled us because we look at this current crop of young fighters in America. They're a bunch of titty babies. Forgive me for saying that.
Hey, you heard what Duran called what he called Tank? He called him a pussycat.
And Tank's viewed as a killer these days.
And I look at here's my issue. I argue with some of my guys about this. You think you to beat Tank? I said, dude, Tank couldn't keep me off of him. I said, I got 72-inch reach. I'm in your face. I can punch. I can take a shot. I said, dude, as long as I'm not killing myself to make weight, he got to see me.
That's it.
There's no misconceptions. We don't have any misconceptions about who was the greatest era. And here's my argument. I argue with Kelly Pavlik and Montel Griffin, and I argue with some of these guys. You old heads, man, shut up. Shut up. Listen to me. There were better fights on World Star Hip Hop than that was going on in boxing at one point.
Yeah, you guys spoiled us, Nate.
Yeah, when I say that, people get angry with me because, oh man, you old heads always got to shut up if I punch you in the eye. I can't stand. And then these boxing writers who they wouldn't know a left hook from a fish hook. They have no idea what's going on, and they get mad with us for having your opinion is wrong. Is what I tell guys. How can my opinion be wrong? It's wrong. It's not based on anything.
That's
it's based
right.
on emotions and feelings.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. So I tell you what, and once again, that very, very intelligent boxing guy once taught me, hey, if you fight, if you have supposedly a granite chin, if you tap on that rock enough times, it's eventually going to crack, and it's never going to be the same again.
Well, for me, Matias' his big mystique was his power.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And I told somebody, I said, the moment somebody walks through his power, I guarantee you he can't take a shot. Oh, I said, I guarantee he can't take a shot. And what happened? That boy hit the shot he got hit with. I watched guys get hit with way harder shots than that.
Yep. Do you think maybe him moving from Coach Panda's high altitude gym in the Mexican mountains, do you think that had anything to do with his endurance?
No.
Think just the mystique had ended?
I'm going to give you one. How many fights that kid got?
Subriel Matias or Dalton Smith?
Matias.
At James, how many does he have? I don't know.
Like
about
23.
23?
I think it was like 23 wins with 22 knockouts.
What was that, Nate?
He's a full-fledged professional fighter with the title.
Mm.
If he can't go rounds, he in the wrong business.
Yeah. There it is. Speaking of going rounds, number 4, Big James.
All right. Oscar Duarte will pull off the upset against Richardson Hitchens later this year to become the 140-pound IBF champ. Fact or fiction?
Ooh, I'm not saying it can't happen. I'm not saying it can't happen because Richard Hitchens does have a tendency to get hit when they don't have to. So that could happen.
And Oscar Duarte can crack. Let's just hope that fight gets made and we get to see it because that's a great matchup. The boxer versus the aggressive puncher. I like it. And I hope that fight gets made. Number 5, Big James.
All right. Agit Campbell should take a good look at what happened to Subriel Matias and learn how to fight behind an intelligent jab, or he will suffer the same fate in 2 years. Fact or fiction?
It'll be less than 2 years if you fight the right guy.
Yeah.
Let me tell y'all something. God knows I could punch. But everybody underrated. The one thing that I had that nobody thought about was the very snap and power on my jab. My jab still to this day is as hard and strong as it's ever been. My guys complain about, Coach, I don't want you to show me how the jab feels. Don't do that. And it didn't hurt
I love it. I tell you what, I want to get your opinion on this one, Nate. This is very interesting, and it's regarding a press conference that's being staged tomorrow in San Francisco. Number 6, brother.
All right. IVB boxing will be one and done in the sport of boxing when Usyk versus Wilder loses well over $10 million on July 11th. Fact or fiction?
Don't nobody want to see that fight, that shit fight, because everybody know Deontay Wilder is he ain't just long in the tooth. He's skipping like a revolver with a bad shooting pin, firing pan. But if they're gonna pay him crazy money, I say Deontay go get their money. And Usyk, if I hear one more person tell me that Usyk is one of the greatest of all time, I'm liable to puke in my mouth.
Nate, once again, you get the round of applause, brother. Let me ask you something, Nate. How would Alexander Usyk fare in the 1990s?
They'd kill him dead. They'd kill him. They would kill him. They would murder him to death.
Oh, see, I tell people that all the time.
Holyfield would crush him.
How about David Tua?
David Tua, Ike Abeabuchi.
Oh, shit.
I wouldn't even listen. How
Ike
about this?
Abeabuchi.
How about
Dude,
this?
I had a dude tell me the other day, they posted that on Facebook, and I said, Ike Abeabuchi would beat the hell out of Usyk. Oh, man, you old head. I said, bro, do you realize that Ike Abeabuchi still holds the record for the most punches thrown in a heavyweight fight in 10 rounds or 12 rounds, whatever? He threw as many punches as I threw. I don't know if he threw as many, but he threw upwards. Him and David Tua threw so many punches. I threw 1,145 against Juan Diaz. I don't know if he threw that many, but I damn sure know he threw 4 digits.
Oof. Yeah, I think they set the record at the time. Since it's been broken by Adam Kovnowski and Chris Arreola, but they held the record for the heavyweight division, most punches thrown in a heavyweight fight up until that point, Ike Ibeabuchi and David Tua.
And here's about it. Neither one of the guys you just called could punch like those two.
You're right. You're right. It was playing patty cake compared to those monsters.
Dude, let me tell you something. I never forget watching David Tua hit Ike Abeabuchi with a hook, and Ike Abeabuchi hit him with a 14-piece blazing a blazing 14-piece extra spicy with all the crispy. I had to get close on my face so y'all can see that. He hit him with a 14-piece extra spicy with no honey mustard on the side with extra hard fries.
Oh my goodness. We're running out of time here, Nate. Hold on, let's get to this. Number 7.
Oh,
Good
man,
game.
here it is. Ryan Garcia versus Mario Barrios being handled exclusively by Sella in Riyadh season is not a good sign for PBC and Al Heyman. Fact or fiction?
Al Heyman is done. And he's done not because Al Heyman is done because a lot of us are angry that he ruined good telecast and put shit fights. For the same reason we don't fool with De La Hoya because De La Hoya ruined HBO. And we're angry. And this ain't me as a fighter, it's me as a fan talking now.
Mm-hmm.
And I say this all the time. Y'all remember they gave De La Hoya a three-year content deal. They built Canelo on trash. And they took away all the best fights at 135 that could have happened. They fought in-house. I didn't get in the mix, so they didn't get the really great fights. I didn't get the really great fights. And by the time that three-year deal was over, they had built Canelo into this media frenzy that he is. And now there is no HBO boxing anymore. Al Heyman shot ESPN in the foot.
Same with Showtime.
They murdered all the good. What it is there used to be so many more ways to get paid.
Yeah.
And you
Now,
saw better fights for free.
there aren't any more TV dates, not any real TV dates in the American market any longer.
I would rather slam my pecker in a car door than watch most of the stuff they put on pay-per-view. And I'm not talking about a car door. I'm talking about a 1975 Chevy Caprice convertible.
A Woody Impala. Holy shit.
Convertible. 2-door. With
Damn.
That had one. With the 4 doors, you got to close it. You got to slam it. You got to roll the window down and close it good.
Oh, man, I grew up in one of those, brother. Let's move on. Well, first of all, what do you think of Ryan Garcia? After getting embarrassed against Rolly Romero, gets another title opportunity immediately in his next fight against Mario Barrios.
And that bothers me. Because back in the day, if you lost a fight, you couldn't get a title fight right away. You had to go back through the process some. At least go get a win. And then Mario Barrios, he should be ashamed of himself You let that 7-8-year-old Pacquiao get a that Mario Barrios made me back and still. Hey, after I saw Pacquiao fight Mario Barrios, I was in the front room saying, "I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky." I'm telling you.
Oh, Nate making a comeback.
I'm telling you. I thought, hey, I did fight in 2020.
Hey, yeah.
Yep. Let's see it. Let's see it. Slide and Counter says, yep, that 90s heavyweight era was a crazy gauntlet. Yep.
Hey, look. Even at cruiserweight, you could have had Usyk versus Holyfield, or even Usyk versus Michael Moore. Man,
Bro, you could have Usyk versus. I'm gonna tell you who the beat shit out Usyk. The guy that James Toney beat, the one that beat Tarver in the Olympics.
Oh, the Tiger.
Yeah, he the beat shit out Usyk. Usyk don't throw enough.
Wow. Yeah, I forgot about the Tiger, man. He was a beast until James Toney whooped his ass. He was never the same after that.
Hey, James Toney, the Chocolate Buddha would have whooped his ass. I had to call James the Chocolate Buddha. He said, "Fuck you, Nate. Fuck you."
Chocolate Buddha. 510 Boxing. Thank you for supporting Nate Campbell. He says IVB Boxing definitely going to be Triller, the sequel. You know what? There's a very good possibility.
I'm gonna tell y'all something. I watch these guys make these fights and throw. A friend of mine, I love him. He's a Hall of Famer in Florida, and he's the best promoter ever. He's my co-promoter, Terry Tracus. Terry said, "I said, Terry, what if anybody asks him about promoting shows?" Terry look at him and say, "Look, why don't you give me half the money you was gonna spend? Let me kick you in the nuts. Call it a day."
Oh, man.
He'll say, this is a matter of fact. Hey, Teal say, look here, Slick, check it out. You want to be a millionaire in boxing? Let me tell you how. Start with $2 million, promotion shows, you'll be a millionaire in no time.
That's absolutely right. Yeah. And it's become a lost art. I learned everything I know about this business from the great Don Chargan. They don't make them anymore.
Don Chargan, man. But I'm gonna tell you something. After watching Don King do what he does, there'll never be another promoter like that.
Nope, never. Everything it pisses me off, Nate.
Hey, hold on. Hey, maybe this is gonna be an event. It's gonna be magnanimous. It's gonna be a wonderful thing, and we're gonna.
Woo! I love it.
I love Don King. A lot of guys talk trash about DK, but I said anytime you hear me talk about DK, what happened was when I was signed to Don King, I didn't know how good I had it.
Yep. He actually cared about putting on good fights for the fans.
Hey, Don said, Nate, we can look, Nate, look, we can make it. And all you got to do is just do your job. I'm gonna do mine. And he ain't never lied.
Yep, there it is. G Funky agrees with you. Thank you for supporting Nate on this day. He says we need real promoters like Don King. These guys today can't promote. Yep.
These guys now are booking agents.
Yep.
They're booking agents.
That's it.
A pile of money. They can go in and steal what they want and get the rest of the fighters.
Thank you, Slide and Counter. Vasily Zhirov, former gold medalist. Yep. Yeah. Boy, he was a bad dude.
Yeah, Vasily was a bad mother's cousin, as they say.
Oh, speaking of guys who can't promote these days, and I tell you what, Bob Arum, where have you gone? It's a damn shame you had to give your son-in-law the reins.
James? That's why from what I heard, that's why the Pacquiao fight never happened with me and Pacquiao.
Yep, that's it. James.
But you gotta realize at some point, you gotta give it away.
Well, not to Todd DeBuff. Give it to Bruce Trampler. Damn.
Yeah.
Bruce knows boxing. Todd DeBuff sucks ass.
Yeah, but Bruce wasn't nailing his daughter.
No.
Keep it in the family. Bruce is.
Yeah.
Bruce is.
I know. That's terrible, though, man. Because you know what?
that to be disrespectful to Todd DeBuff about his wife, but that's the truth of the matter. That was nepotism.
Yep, that's it.
But and I think you have to understand something. Why would he give the reins to Bruce Trampler, who is no blood?
Because he's smart and he's a real boxing guy.
Yeah, but then Bruce should have married his daughter.
So that leads us perfectly into our next fact or fiction. James, the honors, please.
Top Rank Incorporated has become a glorified manager with no TV dates. Fact or fiction?
Fact. That's fact.
Mm.
Let me tell you something. And the sad part about it is I can put on better pool parties than they put on fights.
Yep. Yep. Oh, boy. Then we're going to have to fly through these guys. We've got 4 minutes left with Nate. Number 9, Big James.
Teofimo Lopez and Shakur Stevenson will end in an uneventful draw on January 31st. Fact or fiction?
Ooh. Y'all know how much I love Teo, right?
Yep.
Y'all know I got me and Teo. I've been knowing Teo since he was a little kid with big
brains down there. Yep.
Yeah. He used to come to the gym and just watch me maul guys. He used to come to the gym and watch me be. I'm talking about, oh my God. And I don't have a beef with Shakur. I just don't know I don't know him like I know Teo. I'm pulling for Teo to win. And my thing is, every time I see Teo, I'm like, watch what you can say. Oh, man, I'm just doing it for the cameras. I'm saying, hey, but the camera's gonna get you shot at.
Yep, they are.
And I love him. I love his dad. His dad would tell Teo that I'm his favorite lightweight of all time. I say, over Teo? He said, fuck Teo. I'm like, whoa. Whoa, Pop, that's Gordo. Gordo, my dude. And we joke like that because they good people. And but the problem is, I don't know if Teo is gonna show up.
Yep.
Yeah.
I wish that they would let me. I wish they would let me just come to camp and spend 2 weeks with him.
Look, I think that it's not so much you don't know which Teo's going to show up. You actually know which Shakur is going to show up. The guy who doesn't want to take the lead or take any risks.
If an aggressive, strong Teo shows up, it ain't like Shakur can keep him off.
Well, let's hope we see that guy. We've got 2 minutes left. The last fact or fiction of the night, Nate.
All right. Dana White will become disenchanted with boxing once he realized that he's a mere puppet promoter for Turkey Al-Sheikh and Sailor. Fact or fiction?
Dana gonna take the money as long as they give it to him, though. He might be disenchanted, but I'm gonna tell y'all what. Hey, cash. Hey, my mama say purse first, ass last. That was she once told my sister. And I'm gonna tell you right now, if I was Dana White, I'd shut my mouth and cash some checks.
You know what? He very well may do that. And I tell you what, as long as he can continue to get that TV deal with real TV dates on Paramount Plus, yeah, Turkey will be happy.
Listen to me. Turkey Al-Sheikh got more money than Dana White can imagine.
Yep.
Listen to me. Turkey Al-Sheikh got Arab money in real life.
Yep. Well, as long as the price of the barrel stays high.
Well, listen to me. I don't know if not if Donald Trump has his way. He gonna pump that Venezuela oil right on downtown USA.
Yep. You never know with that Venezuelan oil now being used by America. You never know.
But you know what the saddest part about this is? I was in Venezuela in 2016 for the Olympic trials. I commentated over there, and we couldn't even go outside of the hotel.
Wow. Yeah. Wow.
So when people talk to me about Venezuela and Maduro, most of them folks sick of Maduro. But the problem is, the party that has power is Maduro's party. The people have not rose up against them yet.
Mm-hmm.
Our brother G Funky says this: I could listen to Nate talk boxing all day long. Yes, sir. Unfortunately, we're at the end of the road. Big Nate, can we please continue this every week? on the Standing 8 with Nate.
Hey, if my daughter can negotiate the pay, yes, because she definitely gonna want to cut.
Yeah.
My oldest daughter runs my gym. Her name is Jasmine Campbell, Jasmine T. Campbell. Jasmine is a straight up. She be like, "Daddy, how much we making? What's the cut? What we doing? Let's see the numbers. What did the metrics say?" I'm like, "What? The what? The who?" I was just talking. No, we can't just talk. We need to see metrics. And I'm like, "What is a metric?"
Well, I tell you what, we might have to hunt down some additional sponsorship to make that happen.
Hey,
I tell you what, Nate, it's been a pleasure, my friend.
Thank you. I've been trying to listen. I've been looking to get a podcast going, and I want to do it right here in my gym.
Yeah.
And we talked about this, James. Remember?
Yep.
And I really want to get it in my set up in my gym and just really talk. Bring my guys on. Bring Roy on, and bring Tarver on, and bring Randall Bailey on, and bring Kenny Ellis on, and bring John David on, and just reach out to Alan Green and Chad Dawson. And I want y'all to do me a favor. I want y'all to reach out on social media and sing your love to Chad Dawson. He lost his mother the other day. And
oh boy. Yeah, I
really,
know Chad very well. I used to work with him when he was when I was working with Emmanuel as well as Sugar.
Yeah, Chad Dawson is a great guy, great family.
Yes.
And look, and I really if you guys want to, man, y'all help me set up a podcast. I'm looking, we can do it something like this. I really want to do one again.
All right.
Talk boxing.
So
There
check
it
this
is.
out, Nate. We'll let's see if we can give you a little bit more practice and see about you coming back on Tuesday night with the legendary coach Ronnie Shields. How about that?
I talked to Ronnie Shields. Ronnie Shields is the guy that tried to beat me for the world title with Juan Diaz, and then my fighter walked the ring on him. He calls me by my whole name, so I don't like speaking with him.
Uh-oh. Coach Ronnie. Nathaniel, he calls
Coach
you
Ronnie.
Nathaniel.
I owe him my whole name. Nathaniel. I love Ronnie. Hey, listen. People don't understand how they don't, and I want folks to understand this. People don't understand how great Ronnie Shields is. And I want to say this. Me and John had a great game plan going in. Our game plan was to talk trash to Juan Diaz, get under his skin, and I did that. But I was terrified of Ronnie Shields. And he knows it. I told him. He was the only thing that scared me in that whole corner. Ronnie Shields he's a mad scientist, a genius with a big forehead. I mean that because boxing IQ is so big up front. He is, dude. And I was like, it took me every moment of I was looking for every moment of the fight. I was looking for something to climb out of the swamp.
Well, I tell you what, Nate, what an amazing time capsule classic that was, brother, between you and Baby Bull Juan Diaz. And look, Ronnie, look, look at his two mentors, Emmanuel Stewart and Georgie Benton.
I'm gonna give you one even better.
That's why.
I'm gonna blow your mind. Listen, Georgie Benton trained John David. John David was then sent from Georgie Benton to Emmanuel Stewart.
There it is.
When I was coming up in the early part of my career, y'all gonna love this. Angelo Dundee moved to Tampa to live with his family. He would come to all the fights, and there was about a fight a month in Tampa at the time. No less than a fight a month. No less. Every month there was a fight in Tampa, and every time Emmanuel Stewart was coming to Tampa a lot, and Jimmy Williams lived in Tampa, and I would see Mr. Jimmy all the time. I don't know if y'all know who Jimmy Williams is.
Jimmy, yep.
Jimmy Williams is he's an all-time great. I actually did the last interview with Jimmy Williams.
Wow.
And this how far back, look at this picture here.
Oh, wow.
Me, Jimmy Williams, Pete Messina, David Santos, and Winky Wright all together. That was about once, twice a month you see this crew together. And Emmanuel Stewart would be there. And then Angelo Dundee would be there. And so Angelo Dundee was talking to me one day. He said, Nate, where'd you get that style from, kid? With the old school style you got there. Who taught you that? And I said, I said, Mr. Dundee, call me Angie, baby. Call me Angie. So I said, Mr. Angie. He said, just Angie. I said, I'm Southern, Mr. Dundee. And it's hard for me to call you. He said, if Ali can call me Angie, you can call me Angie. I said, okay. So I said, okay, Angie. I said, my trainer's name is Charlie Doc Williams. He said, Doc Williams is your trainer? I said, yeah. And he knew all the history of my trainer. He just knew my trainer. And I said, but my first trainer was Frankie Menace. He said, tough Minnesota fighter. I said, yeah. He knew my trainers. And he said, no wonder you fight the way you fight. And he's, come in, Manny. And so he called Manny over. Come on, Jimmy, let's go over in the corner and talk shop with Nate. And come here, baby. He grabbed me by the arm, and I would be standing in the corner and listen to Jimmy Williams, Angelo Dundee, and Emmanuel Stewart talk to me about history of boxing. Every fight, dude, I would sit down on a chair like a little kid and cross my legs and just listen to the history. Listen to the history of boxing from these three greats. Dude, listen to me. Angie was like 90 plus then. Jimmy Williams was almost 90. He was like 80, 87, 88. And Manny Stewart was right. It was like 3 years before he passed away.
Yeah.
Whatever it was within the 5-year range.
64.
Huh?
64.
Yeah. So he was in his 60s. So you talking 60s, 80s, 90s. And they would sit down and talk to me, and always Manny Stewart would say, and Manny's favorite cuss word was motherfucker.
Oh yeah. If he were describing the weather, it was MF.
Yeah. Gotta have heard him say it. Well, Manny worked my corner when I fought a guy named Tiger Martinez. When I fought him the second time, John didn't have a second, so Manny said, "I hit you, John. Come on, let's go. Come on, Nate, let's go." I went out there, and after the first round, I was doing my thing, and I dropped the kid in the second round. And John simply had said, "Coach, you got anything to say?" John, and never get mad. You fight a beautiful fight, Nate. This motherfucker don't want to fight no more. Keep hitting this motherfucker in the bottom. He dropped by. He just kept saying, "Hey, dude." Every other word was motherfucker. He said, "This motherfucker fight." He keep touching this motherfucker in the body. This motherfucker can't take it. Get on around there. Dude, I can't make this up. I ain't that good. And I went through my hard time in boxing, and I was getting ready to fight Kid Diamond. And Andre Ward was fighting before me. On that fight, that was the third fight with Roy Jones and Tarver. I was the co-main event, and Andre Ward was a feature fight. Andre had a tough fight that night, and I was in the back warming up, and I never forget it. I was in the back, and I have to tell the story sometime, but I'll tell the whole story later. But I was getting ready to walk out, and I was sitting out front actually up before the fights. I was watching the earlier fights, and Manny Stewart walked by and said, "Nate, boy, you look good. Your skin is glowing. So you gonna kick his ass tonight? That motherfucker ain't ready for you." And I looked at him. I stood up and I said, "Thank you so much, Mr. Stewart." He said, "Don't play with me." I said, "Thank you, Manny." And he actually gave me the biggest hug. And went out and talked about me like I was God's own.
I tell you what, man. That is
you know what the wild part about that is, man? That is October 1st, 2005, St. Pete Town Forum at the time. I was there. Man.
I gunned him down, too.
Well, I tell you what, Nate, any parting shots for our listening audience, sir?
Look, I want you guys to tune in. Keep tuning in. We're going to force these guys either teach me how to do a podcast or help me or bring me on the podcast. But I thank you all so much for having me, man. good old fashioned boxing talk. We got to be able to have a conversation, opinions.
I'll tell you what, Nate. Thank you for the memories, brother. Thank you for the great, intelligent conversation and the candid, truthful one for once. You're a breath of fresh air, brother. Keep on doing what you do. We love you, Nate, and we'll do everything we can to help you out and wherever you need.
I'll tell you this, and Nate will know this too. They don't know that I could like all of a sudden show up right there at his gym if I gotta help him and be right there myself.
There it is. There it is.
My daughter Jasmine is like, dude, there's so much stuff that I want to talk about in the boxing game. I really want to talk about the cash, the money. I want to talk about the stuff that guys go through. See, I was a B-side guy for most of my career. I started out on what they call the Chitlin circuit.
Mm-hmm.
My first fight was at a club called The Moon.
Yo, you know I know about The Moon. That's a whole club right there. That was like the hottest club out in Tallahassee. Come on,
dude, listen to me. You couldn't put 500 people in that bastard.
Nope.
But it's a fight. It was a great little fight venue. I think you probably put about maybe 400 people, 500 people
next, yeah.
And but dude, back then they paid me $400.
Wow.
And I had to give most of that to my wife, and because I left my job at Winn-Dixie, and $50 that night.
Wow.
But it was I was pro. I was a professional fighter then. And
well, I'll tell you what, $50 and turning pro, that made you a rich man that night, brother.
So listen, I really want to talk about my travel, man. I mean, and I want people to know that fighters, man, a lot of fighters don't make a lot of money doing this. So I mean, the respect they once gave fighters in my era, it's important that they keep that alive, because a lot of these guys don't get a lot of money.
No.
But if nothing else, at least give them the respect they deserve.
Amen. Amen, brother. And you know what? This has always been and always going to be a feast or famine type business.
It is. But I also want to tell everybody, look for this book on Amazon.
Secret Thoughts of the Galaxy Warrior. We'll find the link and we'll put it under this show, okay?
Yeah, please do, man. This book is a book of poems and thoughts that I would have when I was training throughout my pro career. I'm talking all the way back to Buddy McGirt.
You kept the journal.
I kept the journal, and I wrote poems, and I wrote everything out, and I just kept it in my phone.
That's amazing. That's amazing, brother. JR, do you have any final comments or questions for our brother, Nate Campbell?
Oh, man, just very thankful that he was able to join in here for this. And, yeah, hey, I think, you know what, if we could, as you say, if his daughter allows it, we could try to do this on Thursdays, man. We could start that up.
Oh, man, I would love it. And our listeners and our extended family in the boxing community, they would absolutely love it, man. Nate, we want to thank you for your time tonight, my friend.
This is our schedule. This is my boxing schedule for up to March.
Wow. Well, I tell you what, we'll let James negotiate your terms, brother. But yeah, we want to make this a regular thing. So Nate, thank you for doing the premiere episode of Standing 8 with Nate. Guys, Nate Campbell. Woo!
Good night.
God bless you, brother. And guys, on behalf of JR Bell and on behalf of the Galaxy Warrior, I'm Joseph Herron. You've been listening to Warwick Boxing, Standing 8 with Nate. Have a great evening, everybody.
Dentures and the Boxing Source proudly present